students, welcome back to the class. I've been your teacher and it has been an interesting journey so far. Thank you for staying tuned and thank you for learning with us. In the course of the learning experience, we have learned a lot of things about the respiratory system. We have learned about the respiratory system in different organisms. We have learned how different organisms carries out respiration. Now, it is important for us to learn about respiration in man. It is so interesting. I'm very excited to introduce you to this class, to this particular lesson, the respiratory system and the mechanism of respiration in man. For the respiratory system of man, just like every other mammals, man is also a mammal. So the respiratory activities in man is also structured around the respiratory activities in every other mammal. Before we proceed, I would like us to take a simple exercise in this class. Let us take it together. Breathe in, out. Breathe in, out. Breathe in, out. You must have experienced something beautiful, whereby you breathe in air, either through your nose or through the mouth. Air flows into your lungs, and you're able to breathe out this air through your nostrils. The respiratory system in man is a very interesting part. Right here, the respiratory system starts from the activities that happen in the nostrils. For example, the nostrils moves into the posterior portion of the mouth cavity known as the pharynx. The pharynx also divides down to the larynx, which further moves into the windpipe or the trachea and divide into the bronchi, which also have the branches called the bronchioles, and which moves into the alveoli that is rich in blood vessels. Now, it is important that having understood all this aspect of things, that the air that's within the environment tends to move through the nostrils, it is also important for us to learn about the mechanism of respiration. And the mechanism of respiration can also be divided into what we call the external respiration or inhalation. Alright students, I would like us to talk about this respiration, the mechanism of respiration in man. Just as other mammals, man tends to have respiration. We breathe in every day. We also break down the food that we eat to release energy. Hence, we can say that for man, the mechanism of respiration in man is divided basically into two. And that is where we have the external respiration and we have number two, the internal respiration. For the external respiration simply means the process of gaseous exchange in man, where man tends into breathing air, the process of breathing in air, and the process of breathing out air. So you can discover that when we breathe in the class, let's breathe in again. As we are breathing in, air tends to flow in, and we take in oxygen through the nostrils, and then it flows through the pharynx, down to the larynx, and this oxygen moves in down to the alveoli that divided into various capillaries that is rich in blood vessels. Now, this oxygen is what the body needs to break down its food. Now, in the same process, we now discover that we also need to breathe out carbon dioxide. So in that process, we are breathing out carbon dioxide is what we basically called expiration. Remember, we said this external respiration is divided into what? Inhalation, the process of taking in air. This is inhalation. You are inhaling air. And then when you breathe out air, exhalation or expiration is when you are breathing out air. Now, when we go down to the internal respiration, this is where the major activities happen. Now, in the internal respiration, this is where a lot of catalytic activities begin to happen in there, whereby the oxygen that we take in, the O2 that we take in, tends to break down the glucose, or we can call it carbohydrates. It breaks it down, so to balance this equation, in order to give us energy, and then to release water out into the environment. So it gives us energy. So we can here we have CO2 6 plus we have H2O 6, then we can have energy. All these processes are simply the chemical reactions which you are going to be watching other animated videos that is associated to further explain the entire process of respiration in man. Let me run this again. Again and again, the respiratory system in man is simple to understand. That it is divided into the external respiration and then the internal respiration. I would like you all to go through the resources in this particular VBI. There are other animated videos which I want you to watch right now so that you can understand further everything we are discussing about the respiratory system in man. Do well to go through the notes in this particular VBI and also try to attempt the question at the end of this particular session. If there is any need to ask any question, I am right here to answer, or you can call the attention of the teacher next to you. Thank you so much, and let's keep learning together.